You know, the FCC just announced their national broadband plan to bring lightning-fast broadband to all of us. We're going to tell you all about it right here in the Loop and what stands in the way right here in the Loop. Did you know a third of American homes still rely on a dial-up connection or don't have any internet at all? Well, if the FCC has its way, that's all about to change thanks to the National Broadband Plan. If enacted, the plan would bring fast and affordable broadband speeds of 100 megabits per second to everyone, which is about 12 times faster than most broadband users currently have in their homes. The plan also aims to bring free Wi-Fi to many cities and greatly increase the mobile phone spectrum. The downside? The National Broadband Plan carries with it an estimated $350 billion price tag. Some say that by the time it goes into effect by 2020, its services will be obsolete. What else is in the 360-page plan the FCC will take to Congress tomorrow? And should the FCC even be in the business of being an internet service provider? I love it when a plan comes together. It's The Loop. Joining me from New York to help make sense of it all is senior writer for CNET, Maggie Reardon. Welcome, Maggie Reardon.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So the National Broadband Plan aims to accomplish many things, but if you could just break it down, what would you say the major goals are?
Well, really, the major goal is just getting everybody in the U.S. connected to broadband. I mean, you've got a third of Americans who are not using broadband at home for whatever reason, whether it's not available or it's too expensive, and, you know, that's a problem.
So, but what does all this mean for the average internet user? I mean, what, you know, like, if, let's pretend I don't know anything about broadband. What is the government stepping in? Like, what does that mean to me?
Well, what it means to you is once everybody's connected, we can do all kinds of really cool things. There can be, you know, they can use it for remote health care. They're talking about, you know, another initiative is being able to, you know, monitor the smart grid, and so people know how much electricity they're using. So, you know, broadband kind of opens up the possibilities. You know, they're likening it to electricity to all Americans, right? I mean, that's sort of 100 years ago or whatever, sort of changed society as we know it.
So the people of Walmart will actually be able to see themselves on the People of Walmart website. Finally! So the plan is aiming for 100 megabits per second in 100 million homes by 2020. But a recent study shows that 65% of American homes will have broadbands at those speeds by the end of the year, and 90% of the homes will be at that level by 2012. Is this too little too late 10 years from now?
No, I don't think so at all. I mean, because you have to look at the price tag of services like that today. I mean, those are $100 plus. People don't want to spend that much. So I think by 2020, it's very reasonable to think that 100 megabits will be a lot cheaper and a lot more accessible to people. And right now, we can't even, you know, I don't know anybody who needs 100 megabits of bandwidth at home. I mean, I'm sure there are some folks out there, but it's not the average consumer. So I think by 2020, it's reasonable to think that we'll have some new applications that people want to use. So I think that's a reasonable goal.
But, you know, truthfully, I mean, those numbers are theoretical, too. Like, I have 15 megabits with my plan, which is supposed to be turbo. And it's never 15. Like, those are under optimal conditions. Like, it's not even really that number.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all right, Spike. One estimate said the plan could cost upwards of $350 billion. But you say that taxpayers shouldn't be too alarmed since the government could actually turn a profit. Is that true?
Yeah, that is true. That $350 billion price tag is really the total cost of the investment that a lot of the private sector will put into building this network. But really, the government is only being asked to pony up at probably most $20 billion. And they're expecting to make as much as like $50 billion on selling some excess wireless spectrum licenses once they take it back from all the TV broadcasters. So then if you look at it that way, the government's actually going to be making money.
Oh, I am looking at it that way. You're right. So what roadblocks stand in the way? I mean, like, what do we need to get through to make this actually work?
Well, I think one of the biggest roadblocks is going to be the TV broadcasters. You know, part of the plan calls for getting 120 megahertz of spectrum from the TV broadcasters. That's over-the-air TV spectrum that people are using, you know, to with their, to get rabbit ear television type
Oh,
thing.
just
So,
give it up already. Let's wipe some of the crap off television and give it to the broadband industry. Not this station, of course. This station's awesome. Final word, though. Does the National Broadband Plan go far enough?
There are some people who are going to say that it doesn't because there wasn't enough in there about competition. But I honestly think that this is a pretty good start. I mean, it's a very comprehensive plan, and I think it goes pretty far. The FCC is being very aggressive in trying to encourage wireless broadband alternatives, and I think that's pretty good. I know I, for one, am someone who's very excited to see 4G wireless service in New York City, where I live, because I would love to be able to dump my cable provider and get broadband from a WiMAX or LTE provider.
As would I. Well, I want to thank you, Maggie Reardon, for coming by from CNET to keeping us all in the loop.